Myron, where I want to get things started today is, obviously you became wealthy because you mastered a certain set of skill sets, but one of the most fundamental beliefs and mindset shifts that you had is that you become rich when you realize that income does not follow effort, rather the value that you create. Okay, a lot of people think that, man, you can get rich through hard work. Well, there's a lot of people that work hard and they work at a fast food restaurant. When did you have that fundamental realization and mindset shift happen in your life?
Oh, it probably happened when I was reading a book. Which book? I don't know, I've read thousands. But I was reading a book, I'm sure, and I realized, or probably heard Jim Rohn say, that profits are better than wages. I was like, profits are better than wages, I like that. And he said, you work on your job to make a living, but you work on yourself to make a fortune. And I said, I can work on myself. And so that's where that realization came from. It came from me exposing myself to people who knew things that I had not yet discovered.
So proximity was important.
Proximity is important, and proximity can happen in many different ways. It can happen like these folks are here to watch us have this conversation today. It can happen when you read a book. It can happen while they're watching a podcast, like people are watching this podcast right now. So proximity, we have more access to proximity in 2026 than the human race has had in the history of the world. So everybody has access. I like to share with people, you don't lack access to abundance. You lack awareness of the access you have to abundance.
But let's talk about this, right? Because, we interviewed Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank, who a lot of people are familiar with. And I asked him the question, I said, Robert, what do you think is more important, what you know or who you know? And he said that, some of the most BS advice that people will give is that who you know is more important, because hyper successful people are not going to give you the time of day. They're not going to spend a ton of time around you unless you have something that you can offer to that person, right?
Sure.
So how would you recommend going about getting access to that proximity with people? Obviously a lot of it can be through money means, but are there any other ways that you would look to attach yourself to the right people? Like
the first and foremost, most important way to have access to anyone is to seek to serve more than you seek to be served. And what does that mean? That means you have to get your mind off yourself. People who have a hard time selling, they can't sell because they want to make a sale so they can make some money. If you want to sell something to somebody because you have something that's going to change their life and you want to get that transformation to them, that feels very different than, I hope this person buys from me so I can buy the next thing I want to buy. So thinking from the marketplace, how can I serve this person? How can I make this person's life better? Is the best way to get access to anyone.